Well, there you go, guys. That was my little rendition of Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd. I hope that turned out well. I hope you enjoyed it. That's my first time ever doing something like that in a video. I don't think I've ever recorded myself in any way like that. So I hope it turned out well, and it was my own kind of way of playing that song. It's not exactly how Lynyrd Skynyrd plays it, but it's because, you know, I wanted to play it clean without any distortion, and so I kind of adapted it for that cleaner electric guitar sound. Shinedown also has a cover of that song that they've made that sounds incredible on acoustic guitar, but I don't have an acoustic guitar, so, you know, I just played what I thought sounded good. And yeah, I hope you guys liked it, but I'm gonna be making some lunch right now. I actually haven't even had breakfast yet today, so super hungry. I'm just gonna make something simple, egg sandwich. Now I got a question for my fellow RVers watching, and it has to do with my travel trailer's propane system. You know, here up front on travel trailers, we've got our propane tanks, and they connect to the regulator via these pigtails. Without fail, they will both fail about once every year. I have to replace these. They always leak right at this union that allows it to rotate, you know, 360 degrees. The only thing I can think is that this, you know, constant tension that it's in because of how the hose has to wrap, or, you know, how it has to run to also hook onto the propane tanks, you know, that like tension just makes that union fail over time. And so have you guys figured anything out for that? I'm certain that many of you that have travel trailers experience this also. The only thing that I can really think of is going to longer pigtails. They're currently 12 inches, and I'm about to buy some 18-inch ones. And I think that will let me route it in a way that it's not under so much tension there at that union. But yeah, please guys, if you figured this out already, please let me know so I can stop wasting time, money, you know, replacing these. And it's actually, the worst part is usually I realize that my pigtails are leaking because all of a sudden I'm just out of propane. And so it's not fun when that happens overnight. You know, when I wasn't expecting an entire tank of propane to just leak out overnight. But unlike these propane pigtails, something you can absolutely rely on is the Elite 300 portable power station from this video's sponsor, BLUETTI. Hey David, what's the point of a power station if I could just install a full solar system on my rig like what you have? Well, you see, random forest man, that is strangely attractive. In many cases, a system like that is just impractical when you compare it to a convenient and easily carried unit like the Elite 300. Think about van, car, or tent campers where space is paramount. And then there are RVers that just want to run a coffee maker, a toaster, a laptop, or a TV without having to fire up a gas generator. Wait, how do you know my name? Doesn't matter. Say, isn't that power station powerful enough to plug your entire RV into it? Yeah, you're right. Not only can the Elite 300 provide a massive 2,400 watts of continuous AC power and up to 4,800 watts in power lifting mode for compatible resistive loads, but BLUETTI thought specifically of RVers by including a 12-volt 30-amp DC port and even a standard TT30R outlet that my 30-amp camper can plug directly into without an adapter. Plugged in like this, it can even run my RV air conditioner. Hey, wait! How long have you been hiding in those trees? Hey, this isn't about me. This is about the Elite 300. True. You're right.
Besides, how are you supposed to keep all 3,014 watt-hours of capacity charged up while out dry camping? Oh, you silly, handsome man. You can just get the Elite 300 and 350 watt solar panel bundle to turn this whole setup into a complete solar generator. Why burn costly fuel, deal with maintenance and oil changes, breathe in exhaust, and ruin the serenity of nature with a loud gas generator when you can silently harvest power from the sun with zero maintenance? And with your solar generator staying charged up out in the sun, you can monitor battery level, input and output power, solar input status, set on and off schedules, and even remotely control power with the BLUETTI smartphone app while inside your RV, tent, van, whatever. Dude, that sounds awesome. Can I have that? No, this one's mine, but you can click the link in the video description below to BLUETTI's website and check out the Elite 300 and 350 watt solar panel bundle for yourself. Link in the description. Do I look like I'm at a computer? What is this, a YouTube video? Yes, whatever. I'll just take it when you go to sleep. What? Huh? I can still see you.
No, you can't.
You're right there.
No, I'm not. So you guys remember this strange pipe that is in the ground here in my campsite, just really close to my travel trailer? I actually found another one of these about 3 miles or so away from my campsite, just down a random forest road I was exploring in the truck. I saw it just off the road. I stopped and got out to check it out. Sure enough, it's the exact same thing. And so I bet these things are dotted all around the Deschutes National Forest. The consensus from the last video, from the comments you guys gave, is that it's to monitor groundwater. And so, yeah, I guess we're just gonna go with that. But I mean, just kind of fun. This is one of the things I love about the National Forest. You just find the most random stuff out in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, oh, what's that? What's that for? And after doing a little bit of research online, you can typically figure out what it's for, its purpose, the history behind it. But for that thing, I haven't been able to find any information online. But something else that's in my campsite that I recently discovered that is also really cool are these wild strawberries that are on the ground. Again, just about 20 feet away from my travel trailer. The scientific name for these is Fragaria virginiana, and it turns out they are edible. And supposedly they taste just like normal strawberries, except somehow even sweeter. These things are teeny tiny. I mean, look at that. Oh, bottoms up. Well, that one was a little sour. I wouldn't say that was sweet at all. Maybe these ones aren't quite ripe yet. Seems like they would get bigger. Okay, that one definitely tastes like a strawberry. Still a little tart though, not necessarily sweet. I got 5 of them. This is the last one. Yeah, they were all a little tart. Maybe they were overripe, maybe they were a little underripe, not, yeah, something was a little off. But apparently here, you know, on the dry side of the Cascades, you can find those wild strawberries out in ponderosa pine forests like this in clearings that get a ton of sun. So like my campsite is where you'll find little wild strawberry patches like that. And I don't know, that's another little thing that brings a lot of joy to my life, is finding random fruits. And of course, looking it up first to see, can I eat this? Is this edible, like a wild fruit? But now that we've officially reached the hottest part of the day, I'm going to go on a little adventure to a nearby ice cave to cool off. Dude, this thing is so cool. Oh man, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I just love the National Forest. There's just so many random neat things out in the forest, and the air coming out of that cave is cold, like really cold. The temperature outside is like 85 degrees. that feels like it's in the 40s. And it's like right when I got up to the very entrance of it, like right here even, I can feel that cold air just rushing out. I mean, it's not rushing, but it's coming out of the cave. I brought a hat and a sweatshirt because, you know, with a name like Ice Cave, figured it was going to be pretty cold in there. I was able to find a little bit of information on this cave, but not a ton. I know it doesn't go very deep, and so, you know, I don't know. I'm just gonna find out, but I got my headlamp so I can see, and I have my phone on me as a backup light source too. So let's check it out. I made it back to the final room. Oh, this is just fun. This is so cool. There's water seeping down from the ceiling of this cave, and it's just dripping all over the place. You can clearly see stalactites forming from all the water dripping down. And yeah, the walls and the ceiling in this cave, this lava tube, is just so beautiful, and it's all sparkling from the water buildup. And I also know why they call it the ice cave now, because just before this final room, there's a big pool of water. Under only about an inch of water, there is just solid sheet of ice. And so despite it being summer and hot, 85 degrees outside, in here, I bet it's in the 40s, maybe even lower. I've only been in here for, I don't know, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and I'm starting to get pretty, cold. I'm not like freezing or anything, but I can see my breath, and, it's not a place you'd want to stay down for very long. There is actually one more tube, a little crawl at the end of this room, but it's like barely big enough for me to get through, and I'm not about to go like pushing my limits and trying to shove through stuff like that and then end up getting stuck or something. Everything's been pretty easy up until now, but I'm not going through that. Okay, that was a lot of fun. I love that. I actually really love caves. Mammoth Caves, Carlsbad Caverns, and then a bunch of other random like state park caves that I've been to. And don't worry, if you were stressed out about me going in there alone, whenever I do something that has a little bit of danger to it, I always send my dad a text message first, letting him know exactly where I'm going, what the GPS coordinates are, and when he should contact authorities to like send someone out to check on me if I don't respond by. And so yeah, he already knew where I was going and all that stuff. And so if something happened in there, my dad would, have sent help. So it's all good. Don't be too stressed out. But that was so much fun. I actually ended up spending about 30 minutes in there just taking it in, because it's just such a unique world down in caves like that. And all of the little tiny mini stalactites everywhere, and all the just cool like cave formations. It's just really neat. And I had my sweetie girl with me the whole time too, so she got to experience the cave also.
What a beautiful evening. Would you believe that it's almost 8 o'clock and it's still so bright out, but it's warm, but it's not hot. It's like right in the 70s. The sun's going down. This is so beautiful, and I'm excited to have this dinner. You know, not bad, but not great. Probably not going to get smash burgers again. There's nothing really to them except the fact that they're super thin and really wide. They took up so much room on my skillet that I had to cook them one at a time for no real benefit. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. If you guys want to let me know in the comments if there's like a special way to cook smash burgers that makes them better than a regular beef patty, let me know. But I don't know, nothing special to them, but they were on sale, so I mean, and they were really on sale, so why not? But stick around, because at sunset here in about an hour, I'm going to take you guys on a little walk, and hopefully I can catch something on camera that's actually pretty remarkable. The last thing I want to show you guys before I leave this area tomorrow is show you what I was alluding to at dinner just a little bit ago. And it's this awesome display that nature puts on that I noticed last night. I went on a long walk down this forest road to a spot about a half mile away from my campsite, and I noticed this sound that I can only describe as an elephant trumpeting. It's this low oh, I hear it. I'm starting to hear it. It's this low frequency, or like, kind of noise. That's my best imitation of it. But what I found that it startled me at first, I should say, but what I found it to be is these birds that were flying way up into the air, and they would swing down in this just nosedive, and they'd pull up and then shoot straight back up into the air, and then that noise would happen. It is the common nighthawk making what is called a boom display, and it's to kind of mark their territory, to intimidate potential predators and threats, but most importantly, of course, it's to impress the ladies, right? Because it's the males that do it, and so they're like, hey, check out how badass I am. You know? Bird mating rituals are hilarious, and this is no different. So there you go, guys. That is the common nighthawk's boom display, and that like wink, wink that you're hearing, that's their standard call, and they do that the whole time they're in the air. Basically, how they do the boom display is they dive down, and right when they start to pull up, they angle their wings down like this. Like if their body is in the middle of my hand, they angle like that, and they pull up also. And that action causes their primary feathers, their flight feathers, to vibrate super fast and act kind of like a reed on an instrument like a saxophone. It vibrates super fast and makes that really loud noise. I'm sure you can find something better online too, so yeah, definitely do a search for common nighthawk boom display. And also just look into common nighthawks in general. They're really fascinating birds. They have massive mouths that they can open up super wide. Think about like, you know, a whale or something, like a filter feeder whale that opens its mouth like really, really wide, or like a whale shark, because that's what they do. They open their mouths and they fly around, and they just like catch bugs in their massive gaping maws as they just fly around. It's super cool, and common nighthawks apparently are all throughout the United States. They're into Mexico and they're into Canada, so they're all over the place. You may have some in your backyard right now. Camp's broken down, I'm all packed up and ready to go. I'm a little sad to leave this campsite because it's just been so nice here. The air smells so good. It's been so quiet and peaceful, and with the Newberry Volcanic National Monument nearby, that ice cave nearby, I mean, there's so much more to do around here too. And if you guys are interested in, you know, where this campsite is and all the information on how to get here, what rigs I think can make it back here, I do share that information with my patrons on Patreon and channel members on YouTube in the second tier. If you like this video and you'd like to buy me a coffee or a drink, you can go through that QR code right there, and I'll also put a link down in the description for that. Though I am sad to leave, I'm really excited to head up to the Seattle area and stay with my brother and sister-in-law for my niece's second birthday party, and my parents are flying in from Indiana and they're staying there for 2 weeks, and so I get to spend time with my parents also. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, my name's David, this is Fate Unbound, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!